So as a reminder, in this video I will be covering spoiler content for Overlord. This would be basically season 6 type of stuff, so of course if you haven't finished watching the anime, I would suggest finishing watching the anime or also reading the light novels. I will also again be talking about volume 15 and 16, which is currently only released in Japan, so again I will be covering spoiler content, so you have been warned. And again, a big thank you to my Patreon supporters for supporting the channel. Your help helps me continue to do this kind of work, and if you do want additional perks like private Discord channel, Riv Patreon members, and etc., then consider supporting the channel. So I said 2 weeks ago that I would be talking about my thoughts and theories on where I thought the story would go for volume 17 and 18, because Overlord is going to be ending on volume 18. I know I've seen a lot of comments where fans have been kind of copying, going, oh no, he'll come back, he'll do more in the web novel. As much as when I first thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, he'll totally come back as well. I was in that same mindset. The more I reflected on that and more I looked at the author's words and actions, I very much feel that he will not come back. Once volume 18 is done, he will pack things up and he will be done with Overlord. You might see some stuff like the gag manga series, you might see some little things here and there, very minor, but I really don't think he is going to come back to the light novel series or even do anything Overlord related in a web novel at all. I think that will be the end, done and dusted, and he will end up working on the new light novel project that he had been talking about, which I forgot what the premise is. It's some school sort of setting with some sports and that. I'm sure comment section will remind me what it is, but it's irrelevant. He's going to work on a new project and it will be that. So as much as I would loved for him to continue doing Overlord, I also am questioning if it's really healthy, especially with how volume 15 and 16 turned out, because there are some very big underlying issues with how the story turned out, and if you want the full details, go to those videos, because they go in very big detail of what happens and what I think went wrong in those volumes. But with volume 17 and 18, he's been very clear in how he wants the story to go, especially at the end of volume 16, where Ainz finds out who was behind the mind control for Shao-Tir, which for us, we know that was the Slane Theocracy. Ainz now finally finds out, and he is super angry and is basically going to go on a full war page destroying the Slane Theocracy. There are many different ways this could turn out. It could turn out in a multitude. It could be like a sort of a fork situation. Does he go super aggressive and just go full throttle and just completely decimate it, or does he try and go a little bit more cautious? Those are the two ways it could go. There are other little forks that he could go about. There's also Blue Rose as well. I don't think Blue Rose will really be in volume 17 or 18 at all. And what I mean by that, I mean in any major capacity. I think there'll be a slight remark about them, maybe a small little paragraph or section to a chapter where it just explains them being on the run, because I feel like after everything that happened in volume 14, which is the ending of season 4, they're just going to be on the run. They're not even going to turn around. They'll just be keep running and they won't look back. They'll get as far away from the Sorcerer Kingdom and anyone involved in what is going to be a bloodbath of a war. So it's mostly just going to be the Slane Theocracy and a couple of other groups associated with that are going to be in this major story. And I think you could go down the cautious route where Ainz tries and does things very cautiously, does a declaration, sort of gives them pre-warning, kind of like how volume 14 turned out, tries to play things cautiously because of who Pandora's actor went up against in volume 14, and Ainz trying to coach any strong players out, but at the same time, he has taken out one of the major players, and he should be able to gain all the intel he needs now through who he got previously captured from volume 16. So he should have all the necessary intel to know their strengths and weaknesses and what world-class items they have, what allies they have, what powers the individuals have and their skills and all that. He should be able to pretty much probe that out and have a good idea of what he needs to do to just completely decimate them. So I feel like going the cautious route is a little bit yeah, cautious. It's unneeded. I think he will go the much more aggressive route, but there are two ways to go about the aggressive route. He could just do a situation of get him and Pandora's Actor, even maybe Demiurge, and just summon heaps of undead and demons and just flush the enemy and just keep doing wave after wave to just wear them down. It just be nutrition kind of thing, just wear them down night after night, constantly being attacked by undead and demons. And then once they're just weak, then just roll in and wipe them out. That's aggressive, but I would say some people might classify that as being cautious. That's more of a cautious aggressive. It's kind of a hybrid to me. The complete aggressive path would be just send in a tactical team, which would be Albedo's team that she set up for looking for other players. She'd take them, maybe a couple of others might come along, and then just go straight in and take out any major key players and just wipe them out completely. Now, it also depends if Ainz will just wipe out the cities as well and everyone, so like by association, just kill everyone, or will he save the people, take it over? With how Volume 14 turned out, I am skeptical that he will go that route, because I do feel like the author's just going to go full throttle, wipe everything out, makes it quick and easy. Then there's no extra stuff that he has to put into the light novels about management and all that. Or he could leave that open-ended as well, because the author has noted multiple times that he was going to leave a lot of stuff open-ended, and there's a lot of loose story points that have been left open for interpretation. So that's one way about going about it. Also to note, I'm not that invested in this opinion. I'm simply just pointing out different avenues that the story could go down. With comments, I'm sure some people will give their own theories, and I'll reflect on it more, and I might come up with another theory in my head that I think is more plausible. So you may see a follow-up video where I give more thoughts on where I think the story could go. There are other also factions that are connected to the Slane Theocracy, and not so much, that I think will play a part. As far as other minor stories go, like the Dwarven Kingdom, the Village, Khan Village, the Holy Kingdom Arc, the Draconic Kingdom, and also Climb and Renair, which I love Renair. I love her character. I think she's one of the best written characters in the story. I don't think any of them are going to actually be prevalent in the story. I think most of those are just going to be done and dusted, because we did see some stuff in the previous volumes, volume 16, to do with Khan Village, but not much. Mostly just to do with the red potion development, etc. So I feel like most of that's going to be done and dusted. I mean, Ainz could have actually asked Khan Village to assist and use the Goblin Army, but I just don't think that's any need or help. I know some people have thrown that as a theory, being like, oh yeah, they could use the Goblin Army. I don't really think they need to. I really don't think so. I think they could just go the route of what they did with the Lizard people. That's one avenue. I'm not saying it is going to be definitive. I'm just saying, as far as like waves go, just send undead after undead, because Ainz can just keep summoning. It's just an infinite amount that he can keep going, and then he can use Pandora's Actor, and Demiurge can summon some stuff as well. That's the cautious aggressive route, as I mentioned before. I don't know if that's exactly how he will go. I'm not, as I mentioned, invested heavily in one opinion or the other, but I do lean more towards the aggressive, like the 100% aggressive route, where he might go full throttle with the tactical teams that he has. I also think the Pleiadian Maids will also be involved as well, but I don't think the Pleiadian Maids will ever have a rematch with Blue Rose. I think Blue Rose will just keep running and running and running. I've heard some stories, people saying that the reason why Evil Eye and Blue Rose weren't ever killed off, they were meant to, the author planned to, but someone higher up, I think maybe one of his bosses or something, or writers, or not writers, but proofreaders or writers, had told him that he couldn't kill them off for certain reasons, probably, if that was the case, promotional reasons and that. I don't know how true that is. I always try and take comments like that with a grain of salt, because I've been told so many things these days and they've ended up not being true, and I fell for them, so kind of learning from my mistakes from there. So maybe that's true, maybe it's not, but I think from this point we won't be seeing them at all. And as far as other characters go, you might see some passing remarks, maybe as they build up the attack. You might see some stuff with Renair might pop up with Klein standing next to her, and she might give her opinion on the matter, and that might be the only thing that they'll have of relevance to her, and some passing remarks with Khan Village. I think it's going to be very small little snippets, nothing major like giving a whole entire chapter or a part of a chapter. I think it would just be like a paragraph of stuff about them, just them saying something of relevance, and then that's the end of it. So that's kind of where I'm thinking. I will maybe do another follow-up video depending on some of the fan theories. I might grab some of the fan theories and then discuss about them as well. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Where do you think volume 17 and 18 is going to go? I know there's also been discussion about him writing even more like how he did volume 15 and 16, because we've gained one extra additional volume than what was initially planned. It was planned to finish at 17, but volume 15 ended up being so big he split it into 2 volumes, and then, well, basically we got an extra bonus volume. I know some fans have speculated that he'll do that again. I actually don't think he will. I was thinking maybe he might, but my thoughts have changed on that, and that's the thing. My thoughts will probably keep flip-flopping around depending on information that I see and just the general mood and atmosphere. So love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more anime content, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.